to negotiate and to reach an agreement before we went to markup. And we withheld markup pending those talks, and the gentleman showed great leadership in that respect, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, and we have all tried to resolve this labor issue without bringing this laundry before the committee, and I regret that we have to do this today. Let me just say a couple of things in that regard. First of all, to continue from what Mr. LaTourette said, I did talk to the Secretary. She's willing to take another offer from NATCA on this issue, willing to sit down at any time. And in her last offer, there was a dispute about the money, and that the administration did offer to bring in an independent auditor that both sides would agree on and settle the issue based on their determination. So this can be settled. It should have been settled, and there's no reason that it can't be settled. Now, let me point to a couple of things. We got a lot of new members on here, and some things have been said. I respect the former chair of this committee, and he made a couple of points about possible motivations. Let me clear up the motivation. There's no attempt to privatize the air traffic controllers. Under the Clinton administration, go back and look, there were over 100 towers that were converted to contract towers, private towers. Under the Bush administration, there has not been one, even though over 60 have been recommended, both for cost savings of $1 million per tower, and we had 2 studies done. One previously when the Democrats were in control, and one when I took control that validated the safety of those private contract towers. I'd love to show you the list of requests for private towers I have from Democrat members that are pending. 25% of the towers in this country are private contract towers. 25% of them. And they operate very, very well. That's not the issue here. The Bush administration has never brought forward a proposal for one recommendation. The GAO did, and it was shelved by this administration. So that is not fact. Question about not having a supply of air traffic controllers. Let's separate fact from fiction. We have 2,000 to 3,000 qualified candidates already qualified, ready to go to work. There are so many candidates for this position that they have to have a lottery to select who will be brought up. That's not the issue. Very rarely in government or in business do you have someone pay for your education and pay for your training and pay you a salary while you're learning the profession that we do with the air traffic controllers. Yes, the administration did propose cutting some of the entry salary levels. That was so that we wouldn't cut any of the salaries of those who were on the job, but you had to make some differences in pay at some point, and we have plenty of candidates. And we now train all of those candidates at Oklahoma City. We have over a dozen universities in many of your districts who can train them. It won't cost the government 1 penny, and that's what we should be doing. And we could have even more candidates, even better qualified. Let me tell you, too, you all have the, and let me speak to the members of the majority here. You all have the mantle given to you to govern, and you can win this vote. But let me tell you what you're going to do today, folks. You're going to open up Pandora's box. And the air traffic controllers have spent a lot of time and money in the election to open this up. This does open the contract to 1998 provisions. They got a 16% pay increase. Now you go back and tell those 29,000 just FAA employees, tell those employees that you're going to give them 16%. They win this, your door is going to be stampeded down, because you can't govern on this basis to have people do this and run the system in this fashion, to take it back to when they, and maybe they did deserve a 16% pay increase in 1999, which they got from the 98 contract. There was no reason to settle the 1998 contract when it came due in 2005, folks. There was no reason, because you kept the terms of the 1998 contract as long as you drew He drew out this process. That's why an impasse was reached, not because it was a mean, nasty administration. So I'm telling you, you open Pandora's box. Now, let me tell you, you're getting the dirty work here, folks. This is an authorization. This is not an appropriation. So you're going to leave the air traffic controllers hanging. It may be some little victory for them today, but you leave them hanging. And let me tell you why. They've been before the appropriators with a continuing resolution. They tried to get it in there. They were turned down. That's run by the majority, not the minority. They've been on the supplemental, several supplementals. In the Iraq supplemental, they tried. They got rejected there. They tried in the Senate, and they got rejected there. So, again, you open Pandora's box for the way not to govern. They'll all be back at your door. You'd be crazy not to. And they get 1.5% of the salary of the air traffic controllers to run their operation. We had AFSCME and the others in here. They get like 0.48%. They'll all be here. So you're creating your own nightmare when you do this. It's not going to hurt me. And it's going to hurt them because what's going to happen is that we probably will not have an FAA reauthorization. They'll get nothing. In 2009, January 21st, this issue will come back up. So I've tried my best. I'll continue to try my best. I'll work with Mr. Oberstar, with Mr. Petra, Mr. Costello to get a resolution. But this is just one little example, folks, of what may be repeated time and time again, and you will rue the day that this occurs and takes place. Not me, you. Thank you. Yield back.
Well, we've heard about poison pills, about the Senate that will not meet and will not even appoint conferees. They haven't even passed a bill yet. That's not really a surprise. We've heard lots of talk. I want you to think of 2 days. September 11, 2001. The trade towers, the Pentagon, the field of Pennsylvania.